Now, the next aspect that I would like to dwell on is, of course, Harappan art. What are the objects that immediately come to mind when we are talking about art?
Art can be defined in many ways. The modern definition is simple. It is an expression of a creative skill. It indeed is an expression of a skill, but in ancient times, it may have been a livelihood for some.
When we are talking about art, we find that animals form the chief items of representational art. However, you do have depictions of foliage in pottery, carvings of animals like tiger, rhinoceros, bull, elephants have been seen in intaglios on steatite seals, and they are really examples, illustrations of brilliant craftsmanship. Animal figurines have been found, but they are not of very good workmanship, mainly in clay and faience. The bull forms the most important item among these clay figurines. Apart from these, some bronze and stone artifacts have been found, made of bronze and stone, and here you find that you get some beautiful examples of buffalo and goat. The rendering of people in clay or faience was not as great as seen in stone or steatite. I have already mentioned about the priest king in some other context, which is basically a figure connected with the elite class in a seated posture. So the style is very static and formal and can definitely be marked by the very superior craftsmanship. Then we come across the famous dancing girl and several animal figurines, which are illustrations of the lost wax process. Apart from these, a small corroded female figurine has been found, but there is more stiffness in physique in this figuring that you are not seeing in the beautiful dancing girl. Most of these items have been found from Mohenjo-daro, but the context of the dancing girl is not really known. Now, after discussing art, another thing that immediately comes to mind would be religious aspects, because we will see when we will talk about religion that how these two might be linked. Now, how does one talk about religious system of a Bronze Age economy like that of the Harappas? Sometimes it's a problem when you are trying to find the roots of Hinduism in some of these objects. For example, the horned deity surrounded by animals, which is one of the most notable examples that has been found. And this deity, this so-called figure, has been interpreted as prototype of Shiva as Pashupati and sitting in an yogic posture. Now, such interpretations cannot be accepted anymore. In fact, Shirin Ratnagar is pointing out that such figures may have been just associated with the religious system, but you cannot trace back Hinduism to such figures.